I keep going through it, and I ask myself, is it that I don't trust Michigan, or is it that it's Michigan? Because there were times during this New Mexico game tonight where I looked at Michigan and I said, what the hell are y'all doing? What is going on in Ann Arbor? And Jason Eck out here dialing up high school trick plays to get TDs. And I'm like, yo, hey, have a good time, Lobos. It's a program that's been down. They've been getting beat up on. Bronco Mendenhall got them like 5-7 or 4-8 and then bolted to Utah State because they could pay him a little bit more money. All right, Jason Eck comes down there from Idaho and says, all right, let's make them the hoe. Let's see what we can do. Let's go up to Ann Arbor and have a good time. They acquitted themselves very well, but so did Bryce Underwood, who threw for 251 yards and a TD, and he looked good, man. Everything he was throwing was a dime. Now, they might have a Georgia problem where dudes can't catch the football, but if you got a guy like Justice Haynes who's going to be running for all the yards like he did tonight, maybe you got a shot. We're going to talk about, let's talk about it now. Oklahoma versus Michigan is circled on the calendar for your mans. It's circled, okay? It's been circled for a very long time. It is going to be proving ground, okay? You have a 250-yard passer against New Mexico who ain't nobody, right? But it is an FBS program in Bryce Underwood. You have a 392-yard passer in John Mateer at Oklahoma who beat up on Illinois State, which is an FCS program, which ain't really nobody. But both of the programs came through and did what they needed to do to take care of business. The question that I have going into next week is which defense is going to show up first? Because that's the thing that I didn't get to see a lot of. What I saw from Michigan was fine. It was fine. None of that was decisive. None of that made me feel like Wink Martindale's got another stomper out there. Because frankly, I expected them to leave New Mexico for dead in this game, and they just didn't do it. Maybe they weren't able to do it. Maybe they were never able to do it. But giving up 17 points to this New Mexico team felt like 17 too many. Now, that said, you go look at stats. It feels like 267 yards is not a lot of offense. But when you got 21 first down to 20 for Michigan, and you were able to do this with only 50 yards rushing, and you still turn the ball over 3 times, I got questions about just what Michigan is willing to allow because New Mexico ain't Oklahoma, right? Now, on the other hand, I thought the offense was humming for Chip Lindsey. He was in there in his bag going through formations, giving different looks, giving different personnel, and it felt like Bryce Underwood was picking it up just as quickly as he was throwing it down. I got to give that man a lot of credit for picking that offense up like he did. Now, whenever you got a quarterback throws the ball 47 times, he only throws 208 yards, you got a problem. That's New Mexico had a problem. They threw the ball a bunch. A lot of them were incompletions. And as much as I like Jack Lane and his get down, 4.4 yards ain't going to cut it, right? 10 rushes for 33 yards by Scott Huntley, that ain't going to cut it. Meanwhile, you getting 16 for 159 out of Justice Haynes. Hell, that's just like old times from Michigan. That's what they want. They want to run the ball. They want to control the clock. They want to play great defense. You get 21 to 31 for 251 out of your quarterback. Hell, that's right on course. Now, does Michigan need a 3,000-yard passer to go win football games? No. They need a guy like Bryce Underwood that can keep them on time, who's going to give everybody an opportunity to make a play. Marlon Klein being your leading receiver is a tight end. I don't know how much I like that, but that seems to be working for Michigan. I don't know that that's going to be a thing that you're going to be able to rely on against Oklahoma because Kendall Daniels is matched up for that. That's one of the reasons you brought in to play that cheetah position. It'll be fun. It'll be a very fun matchup. I think R. Mason Thomas versus that offensive line is going to be fun. I think Kip Lewis and Kobe McKenzie coming downhill against Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall, that's going to be fun, especially when they go to the 2-back look. I can't wait to see what Brent Venables is doing or not doing against them. I thought it was really telling that guys like Keontae Lewis and Jalen Guillory got starts and played really well for Oklahoma. I'm still going to pick Oklahoma very early in this game. I am. I feel good about it. Now, it's the number 14 team in the country. They'll probably move up just a little bit because of the jockeying in front of them and the jockeying behind them. But this will be a very good proving match for both of them. Both Oklahoma and Michigan are not expected to win their respective conferences, but I think people have a little bit better indication of what they expect from Michigan in the Big Ten than they do Oklahoma in the SEC, right? Oklahoma come out about 6-7, 2-6. Overhauled, frankly, the offense. Got a new offensive coordinator, got a new quarterback, got new tailbacks, added to the wide receiver tree, retooled the defense, Meanwhile, Sherrone Moore has this thing going right where he wants it to go. It is a program that has been surrounded in controversy mostly since the moment that dude became the offensive coordinator, and all they've done is win football games. On a day when Alabama took an L, on a day when Texas took an L, on a day when you could really look at Clemson or LSU and go, okay, which one of you is going to show up? Michigan was still there, right? That's what I would worry about if I was an Oklahoma fan, and I am. They're still there. They'll be there at the end if it's a one-score game. If it's a one-score game, they'll sit on your chest and they'll take everything you want to do away. Sherrone got to come home, though. And that's going to be interesting because as a man who went to college at the same time that Sherrone Moore went to college, and as a man who watched those Oklahoma teams that he was a part of when he graduated in 2007, for him to fix his mouth and say, I hope at the end of this, I am remembered as a Michigan man, has me taken aback. Homie, your diploma says Oklahoma on it. And now you got to come home. Had I married into a family and then said, I hope I'm remembered with that family's last name, I think my daddy would actually want to have more. Might take me by my shirt and go, boy, who raised you? What the hell are you talking about? I would be the welcome that I would give to Sherrone Moore as the head coach of Michigan. You want to be a Michigan man? Let me show you how Oklahoma treats a Michigan man. Okay? Ain't no homecoming like it was for Josh Heupel last year. Josh Heupel was coming home. A lot of people love Josh Heupel still in Oklahoma. It is the opposite of the way that you know that Oklahoma fans think of Lincoln Riley. I'll be curious to see what the reception is because not only is it Sherrone Moore wears an Oklahoma diploma, it's that he's associated with a program that got caught for cheating and is going to be catching fines for cheating. Oklahoma ain't about cheating. That ain't what we do out here, dog. We gonna get it out the mud. We take an L. We'll take an L. We got our asses whooped last year. But the last thing you're going to say is that we didn't do this in a fair fight. While you also got an Oklahoma head coach who's kicking in $1 million of his own money to help with the revenue sharing, not NIL for his team like Brian Kelly, for the revenue sharing, which goes across the board to all the athletics in the state of Oklahoma. Because everybody understands there is one pro team. Like, I get it. The NBA champ, they in Oklahoma City. But hear me when I tell you, we got a pro football team in Norman. And it's been that way for over 100 years. I don't know that that's how Michigan's getting down. They got 1,013 wins. They got the most in the entire sport. But what is that going to mean when you come to Owen Field where there's only one? That's the question I have. What's it going to do for Bryce Underwood when he's not playing in the friendly confines of the big house? And it is loud and it is deafening. And there is everything to prove for this Oklahoma team. Brent Venables he's got his back against the wall. I don't know if you saw the odds or not, but he got the second best odds to get fired first among Power 4 coaches. Only Arizona coach Brent Brennan has better odds to get fired first, according to our partners at Bet Online, who partner with the show for the start of college football season. I want to see how this is going to go, right? Justice Haynes has seen Oklahoma, and he took an L. Remember, he was at Alabama last year. He knows what Oklahoma looks like at night in Norman. Maybe he's going to prepare them. Maybe he won't. I expected to see more out of Donovan McCauley in this game too. 4 catches for 31 yards, I guess. You know, I needed to see more from the wideouts. I harped on Marlon Klein there for a bit because you didn't have a wide receiver with more than 260 yards returning this thing. You went to go get Donovan McCauley. He's wearing the number 1 jersey. That's Braylon Edwards' jersey. You don't just get to wear the 1. Like, you wear the 1 because you the dude. I didn't see no duding from Donovan McCauley in this one, dog. I need to see more. Make me understand why you should fear a Michigan passing attack. Because if it's up to Brent Venables, yeah, he's going to load up the box and you're going to get simulated pressures and you're not going to go know where people are coming from. But it'll be 8 and go, all right, Bryce, beat us. Beat this loud noise. Beat all this red that is surrounding you. And then we'll see what smash means. And you'll come to understand Oklahoma. This ain't the place where you get to yell smash, dog. That ain't what we do down here. You can yell it, but don't be surprised you catch a fist back. One of the things y'all got up there, y'all got Detroit Lions, y'all got the Pistons, y'all got Ford Motor Company. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got all this stuff going on up there. Well, ain't nothing to do in Oklahoma, but play football. But play football. in 100-degree heat, in 49% humidity. I don't know if nobody told you or not, but it ain't exactly pleasant down here outside. Ain't better be no 40, 50, 60 degrees down here, dog. We ain't got no water with no wind coming off the water. No. You in the middle of the country, in the belt, in the Bible Belt, and it's getting tight. It's getting so tight through here. People is ready to fight walking outside, hitting this stuff in the face. You ain't seen no humidity like the humidities down here, or maybe you have. Maybe you have. I mean, Sherrone has. Or did he forget? Mr. Michigan man? Man, ooh-wee. That did something to me. You know how I feel about colleges, college football. When you get your degree from somewhere, that's your last name. You carry that everywhere. One of the first things you got to list on your resume is where you went to college or where you went to school, your alma mater. That's your family. That's your blood. So for you to look at me and be like, nah, I'm from over there now. I'm from over there. You from where? Nah, this ain't the place where you get to forget where you come from. It's why I say I'm not on a step mill. That's not about geeking out the audience. That's not about getting under your skin. That's not about making fun of this or making light of that, or even having people asking questions in the comments like they do. It is about, that's how we got started here, folk. And I don't get to change the origin story. The origin story is the origin story. I've been doing this for 8 years come September 17th. It's been a long time, man. This show, this channel, this job was a vault. Ohio State, Oklahoma played. Baker planted a flag. I was hype about it. I got on a piece of cardio equipment. I told people about it. My friends watched the video that I posted to YouTube on a lark and said, hey, this is cool. You should do more of this. 8 years ago. So we've grown this show, and it has changed names and it's changed forms. I've licensed it to Fox. I don't license it to Fox now. I still write about college football, national level for Fox. I love this job. I love writing for Fox. You'll see the top 25 coming out very soon. And I'll have some nuggets in there that you'll want to know about. But I say all that to say, I think how you build the thing and how you talk about the thing is as important as the result. So when you say who you are and where you come from, that ain't just you. That's all of us. My last name is Young. That means something to my daddy. It means something to my mama. It means something to my late grandfather. I don't get to change that. That's the history. That's mine. I get to give that to the world. Why would I want to change that for whatever? Again, been through it before. Don't want to go through it again. You know what I'm saying? All right. So 34 points for Michigan, 35 points for Oklahoma. It's nothing in between those two things because I don't think you can compare Illinois State to New Mexico. But I do think that this game is going to be remarkably cool and a lot of fun. It's going to have all its pageantry, and it's going to be the game of the week. Tell me in the comments what you think the score is going to be below, and we'll see what we can do. We'll take one more break, and then we'll see if any of y'all got any questions worth answering here. Sometimes y'all just be up in here trying to throw stuff on the screen. Don't do that. Give me a good question so that we can have a good conversation and keep it rolling.